Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Is the pressure mounting for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Well, we have a squad that includes Ronaldo, Jaden Sancho, Bruno Fernandes and Raphael Varane. I think there's a very good chance that Solskjaer will be sacked if he doesn't win a trophy this season. Paul Scholes has said the same thing after the 2-1 defeat to Young Boys yesterday. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. The tactics were wrong yesterday against Young Boys. Ollie's got to take responsibility from that defeat yesterday. Obviously, Man United fans were confused over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's substitutions in the game. I can't understand why he took Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes off. He shouldn't have taken Donnie Van Der Beek off at half time because Donnie Van Der Beek was our best player in the first half. He shouldn't have started Wan-Bissaka, he should have rested him. As you all know, Wan-Bissaka got sent off in the game for stamping on Martins, and that changed the complexion of the game, but it was no excuse. And I reckon Solskjaer should have started Raphael Varane. I'm surprised that I didn't start. We started Lindelof ahead of Varane. And shouldn't have brought Lingard on. Jesse Lingard cost us the game with that back pass in the 95th minute of stoppage time. It's the first defeat of this season. We've enjoyed a good start to the season in the Premier League. We've won 3 games out of 4. We've registered 10 points from a possible 12. We are top of the Premier League at the moment. Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Man United, despite us enjoying a good start to the season and despite us having a good summer transfer window. But Ole does deserve at least this season. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I did say, didn't I, this season was going to be a big season for him. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. We made a mistake giving Solskjaer that new contract before the start of the season, because he won't see that contract out. He signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United now for almost 3 years. Before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Mould. And before then he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. He only enjoyed a short tenure with Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Ole managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. So Ole hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him, because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. In Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. He did very well as the interim manager. He won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions, so the club decided to give Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019. And a lot of United fans reckon that we made a mistake giving Solskjaer the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether he was the right candidate. But Solskjaer is still a young manager. He's still got plenty to learn. This is why I mentioned he does deserve at least this season. I think Solskjaer has done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. He's still inheriting some deadwood now. I didn't expect Ollie to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. Obviously I have criticised him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, but I've had my reasons behind it. His decision making really concerns me because analysing the vast majority of his games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. You know, Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager so far, and we've spent like 441 million under him. So in the summer of 2019 he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. Back in January 2020 he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. He let Ighalo go back in January. In the summer of 2020, which was last year, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donnie Van Der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. We loaned Pellistri out in the summer transfer window. He got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer of 2020. That did indicate how poor our recruitment was for so long. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Eaton in, Jaden Sancho, Rafael Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. Ollie has got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. So the players he's got rid of permanently, obviously he let Daniel James go in the summer transfer window. We sold him to Leeds for 25 million. He was the only player we sold in this year's summer transfer window, which was disappointing. The reason we offloaded him is because we re-signed Ronaldo. Ollie also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. Back in January, he offloaded Fossa Mensah, Marcus Rojo and Odion Ighalo. He's let players like Young go, Valencia go, Smalling go, Darmian go. Let Angel Gomez go, let Fellaini go, let Herrera go, let Sanchez go, and let Romelu Lukaku go. So a lot of the players we've got rid of permanently under Ollie. Loaned a few players out in the summer transfer window, didn't we, of this year? We loaned Brandon Williams out, loaned Ethan Laird out, loaned Andres Pereira out, loaned Axel Tuanzebe out, loaned Pellistri out, and we loaned Tahith Chong out. You can see progress has been made under Ollie because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. He got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager. And he got us to the FA Cup quarter final. So there you go. And last season got us a 2nd place finish. Solskjaer did accept last season wasn't a successful season for Man United because you don't get anything for finishing 2nd and you don't get anything for getting to a final. And in his first full season he got us a 3rd place finish. And I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. We have extended a lot of players' contracts under Solskjaer. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer did say he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire. Ole has also beaten quite a few big-name managers as Man United manager. Obviously, he's beaten Ancelotti a few times when he was Everton manager, no longer Everton manager now. He's beaten Jose Mourinho, beaten Thomas Tuchel, beaten Julian Nagelsmann, beaten Pep Guardiola quite a few times. He's beaten Marcelo Bielsa a few times, and he's beaten Jurgen Klopp in the FA Cup, but he's not yet beaten Jurgen Klopp in the league as Manchester United manager. So there you go, they're the things I've got to credit Ole for. In this year's summer transfer window, Solskjaer received the backing he deserved. Our owners, the Glazers, had backed him only because they'd been persuaded to. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And Darren Fletcher also backed him. But we enjoyed a good summer transfer window. We spent 141 million, was it, in this year's summer transfer window, and we made 4 signings. Solskjaer, the other week, told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Solskjaer was part of. We've got a title winning squad, so the time for excuses is over. Like I said on my last video, Ole is out of excuses. You know, we've got the best player in the world in our team, in Cristiano Ronaldo. On my last video, I give you some more news on Ronaldo. Ronaldo issues demand to Man United after being substituted in the 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. Ronaldo wants Man United to stay confident despite the defeat. Ronaldo obviously scored yesterday against Young Boys, his 3rd goal in 2 games. Scored twice against Newcastle last Saturday, which was his 2nd debut. Can't understand why Ronaldo got taken off against Young Boys. I really can't understand why. Prior to the game, Ronaldo says we can win the Champions League. Prior to the game, Solskjaer said it's not impossible to leave Ronaldo out of the team. Solskjaer insists he doesn't have to play Ronaldo for every game. When Ronaldo returned, he gave a speech to his Man United teammates. Demands more for his Man United teammates. Ronaldo is already the record goal scorer in the Champions League, and the other week he became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. We got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. He's got the number 7 shirt, and he signed a 2-year contract with Man United with an option of a 3rd year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Oh, Ronaldo's going to do really well in his 2nd spell at Man United, I can assure that. He's already had a good start to his 2nd spell, hasn't he? And he's going to persist with these performances. He'll probably start against West Ham this Sunday. We've got Jaden Sancho. That's a good player. Sancho wasn't that good against Young Boys yesterday, but I thought he was good against Newcastle last weekend, and he weren't too good against Wolves earlier on in the season. I said Sancho will do well, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. You can play Sancho on the left, you can play him on the right. He predominantly plays on the right, doesn't he? You know, we got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. We've got Raphael Varane. That's very good. He's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He's got a great pedigree behind him. You know, look at the trophies he won when he was at Real Madrid. And he was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. I think Varane's had a good start to his Man United career. You know, Varane obviously came on yesterday against Young Boys. I thought he was very good on his home debut against Newcastle last weekend. Was unlucky not to score from that diving header. He was also effective in the air, and I thought he was good on his debut against Wolves. Looks very composed and made some good clearances. We got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 34 million up front. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United with an option of a 5th year. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds on the opening day. Tom Eaton, he's an alright goalkeeper. We obviously brought Tom Eaton in as a backup. To Tom Eaton's credit, he did well throughout pre-season. We got him on a free from Villa, like I said. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United with an option of a further year. You know, we've got Dean Henderson, good goalkeeper. He's obviously been unavailable because he's been recovering from COVID. Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before, and before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. David De Gea, very good goalkeeper. He's enjoyed a pretty good start to this season. He's been in goal for all our games so far this season. We know De Gea is staying at Man United for this season because earlier on in the summer it said De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, and De Gea said he's determined to fight for his Manchester United future. De Gea has made mistakes in the last couple of years though. This season is De Gea's 11th season at Man United, so he's been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era, and a few years ago he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. De Gea has 2 years left on his contract and he receives £375,000 a week. We've got Luke Shaw, very good left back. He's enjoyed a pretty good start to this season. I thought he was quite good against Young Boys yesterday, showed good attacking intent, defensively quite good, got in some good positions and provided width. Shaw was good against Newcastle last weekend, got an assist. Shaw was brilliant last season. In fact, last season, he was the best left-back in the Premier League. Shaw's been our first choice left-back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left-back despite the arrival of Telles. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw has been with us now for like 7 years so he's been a long-serving player. We are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Wan-Bissaka, he's a good right back. But like I said earlier, he should have been rested for the game yesterday. Like I said, he got sent off. I thought it was poor against Newcastle last weekend. There's aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. His positioning's got to improve. He's got to show more attacking intent. His crossing's got to improve. So there you go. But defensively, more or less, he's always been superb. Despite what I just said regarding Bissaka, I still think he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville retired. You know, this season is Wan-Bissaka's third full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Harry Maguire, decent centre-half. I thought he was quite good yesterday against Young Boys, to be honest with you. He's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We should get the best out of Maguire now anyway with Varane alongside him. We got Maguire for 80 million. So he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. Eric Bailly, you know, he's a decent centre-half. My element of concern about him is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with the club until 2024 with an option of a further year. Earlier on in the summer it said Bailly's future was in doubt following the arrival of Varane. But I said keep Eric Bailly as a backup, so if Varane or Maguire get injured, then Bailly is the plan B. Paul Pogba, you know, he's very, very good. One of our key players. He was anonymous yesterday against Young Boys, but he's had a good start to the Premier League season. You know, Paul Pogba's already got 7 assists. In the last couple of months of last season, he produced good performances. I hope Pogba signs a new contract. Well, David Ornstein from The Athletic said not so long ago that Paul Pogba is leaning towards signing a new Man United contract after the impact of Ronaldo. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract, and he said earlier on this season that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Defence Essential said the other week that Paul Pogba favours a switch to Real Madrid over the PSG deal. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with Pogba. A report by 2O Sports said the other week that Juventus want to re-sign Pogba next summer. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. And earlier on this season he said PSG are pushing to sign him next summer, and he's set to join PSG on a free next summer. Paul Pogba's brother, Matthias Pogba, has said that Paul Pogba has not yet decided on his future, and he said that Paul Pogba's contract situation is up in the air. Scott McTominay, decent player. He's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can he emulate to that level? McTominay's still young, got a lot of development in him. He's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. McTominay's just come back from a groin injury. He did have surgery on his groin. Donnie Van Der Beek. He's a good player, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he hasn't been given enough game time. Van Der Beek started against Young Boys yesterday but got taken off at half time. He shouldn't have been taken off because, like I mentioned earlier, he was our best player in the first half of that game. He didn't start against Newcastle last Saturday. I said he should have started against Newcastle, but he came on in that game. Before the Young Boys game, Solskjaer did say that Van Der Beek has been working hard to get into the team. Prior to the Newcastle game, Solskjaer said he's prepared to play Donnie Van Der Beek in a two-man midfield. And Solskjaer hints at a new role for Donnie Van Der Beek this term. The other week, Donnie Van Der Beek told Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his best position. Van Der Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. Don't forget the other week, Van Der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Ferdinand. Van Der Beek admitted he's prepared to keep fighting to earn his place in the Man United team and to remain in the plans of Solskjaer. And Van Der Beek's agent did a lot of talking the other week. This season is Van Der Beek's second full season at Man United. Last season he made 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances came from the bench. I recall Van Der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. Got him in a deal worth 40 million for Ajax with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Bruno Fernandes, very good player. Obviously Fernandes got the assist for Ronaldo's goal yesterday against Young Boys. Scored a very good goal from 25 yards out against Newcastle last week, and he got his first Man United hat-trick in the 5-1 win against Leeds on the opening day of the season. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games at Man United, he's been very consistent, but there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Bruno Fernandes is one of our best players, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes has been at Man United now for almost 2 years. Last season won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Got Fernandes back in January 2020 from Sporting Lisbon. Now, Fabrizio Romano did say that talks have been ongoing since July between Man United and the agent of Bruno Fernandes over a new contract. Fernandes wants to stay at Man United and Man United are likely to offer him a new contract. Fernandes has got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Mason Greenwood, he's very good. Been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood's enjoyed a good start to this season, 3 goals so far this season. Obviously didn't play any part against Young Boys. He was rested. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Edison Cavani, he's made an impact since he's come in, which is good. I'm expecting Cavani to leave at the end of this season. Cavani's actually been absent recently. And Marcus Rashford, he's very, very good when he wants to be, but he's enjoyed his bad periods at Man United. He was out of form towards the end of last season. And Rashford's become injury prone, which is a concern. He's out with a shoulder injury until October because earlier on in the summer he decided to have surgery on his shoulder. Rashford seems to be more effective from the left-hand side. So there you go. We have got a good squad. It's probably the first or the second best squad in the Premier League. I want Manchester United to sell players next year, and I'm expecting us to. So next year we've got to sell Martial, sell Lingard, sell Jones, sell Diego Dalot, sell Matic, sell Fred, sell Lindelof. Like I said, Cavani will be leaving, and Mata will probably leave at the end of the season when his current contract expires. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.